All right, so here's the deal. We're going to go through each of these that you just completed. I'm going to call on you guys randomly. Different people know different things about grammar at this point. So just share your answer. If you're not comfortable with the grammar topic, you can just say pass. Okay? Now, as we go through this stuff, the important thing, I want you guys to take notes. Okay? So you can do that on this sheet if that works best for you. You know, we're going to talk about 11 different topics when it comes to grammar stuff you should already know today. So if you want to take notes where you have space around the number, if you want to take notes on the back of the page at the bottom, you can do that. If it works better to have a notebook out and take notes that way, you can do that. However you want to do it, okay? But whatever I want you to add to this sheet, I'm going to put on this side of the board, and then you're going to have a quiz tomorrow, okay? 10-point quiz, first quiz. Again, these are things you've learned about before, and after today's notes, you should be good, okay? As long as you pay attention, all right? So let's see here. Let's see who's up first. Ashley. So number one. Oh. Okay. Elijah, number one. What'd you do? What'd you change about the sentence? I'm not going to rewrite the whole thing. You guys just did that. I'm going to highlight what you should have changed after I ask you.
I kind of skipped number one.
You skipped number one? It's the first one. That's a weird thing to do. Diamond. It's, you're right. Now, what's wrong with it's right here?
Does it have a
Good. This is what you should have changed in number one. Who had that? Okay. A lot of you. See, you need to be more confident. Okay. So that it's, here's your first note for number one. It's with an apostrophe is saying what? Why does that need to be it's with an apostrophe? Yeah. Right. So this sentence says school began again this week, and so in this sentence it would be it has been difficult to return to my morning routine because it's past tense, but it's with an apostrophe means it is or it has. Okay. It's what we call a contraction. Taking two words, you're making it one. Okay. So that form it's that was in the sentence like that. This is just for anybody. What's that form of it's mean? What's the difference between the two? I know Diamond knows. She got it right. Who? Someone else. Keon.
Isn't it possessive?
It's possessive, right? It shows ownership of something. Okay? So if you wanted to say, like, the car had its tail light repaired, that is how you would use it's without an apostrophe. Okay? The tail light belongs to the car. Possessive. Make sense? Should. Yeah? Okay. All right, so that's number one. That's first thing we're talking about. Okay, next one. The first few on this sheet were similar. So this one says, when you're enjoying your break, the school year seems to return quickly. Let's see what we had for this one. Brock?
I changed your, like I swapped them, basically.
Right, so this one should be like that, and this one should be like that. Okay? So, just like we talked about with it's, you with an apostrophe, what's that mean? Anybody? You are, right? This your shows possession or ownership of something. Like the it's without an apostrophe. Okay, if you're using an apostrophe mid-word, you're taking two words and you're making it one. All right? Okay. I think I will sleep in today too. So it's 3. Jalen, what'd you change with this one?
I think I was sleeping today too. I think
What'd you change it to?
T-O-O.
T-O-O, good. So that 2 with 2 O's means what? Anybody? Also, basically, right? You're adding information on. That means also. 2 with just 1 O, you're showing direction, like I went to class, right? So we don't want that there. And then I'm not even going to write TWO because you should know that that's a number. Okay. All right, so 3 types of 2. Okay, this is another similar one. There. All right. We vacationed in Colorado this summer, and I had never been there before. Kennedy, what'd you change in that one? And what form did you change it to?
You want me to spell it?
Sure.
T-H-E-R. No, T-H-E-R-E.
Right. So this is the right answer for that one. That should be THERE. Make sure you're checking your answers. So this there, THEIR, shows what? Simon? Yeah, possessions of somebody, right? So that there shows possession, just like we talked about with some of these past examples. That there shows location. And THEY''RE means they are. That's another contraction. Okay? Okay, let's see what we got for this one. Tanija, how'd you change number? Is that 5, right? Number 5?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you have? What'd you have for number 5? What'd you change? Skip? Dakota?
Then I changed to then.
Then, right? This then should be THAN. Junior year will definitely be better than last year since I am in this thought-provoking English class. Okay? THAN is used when you're comparing things. So that's a note for you. THAN is used for comparison. Then shows time, right? Then I did that. THEN. Okay, this one I'm just going to give you guys. This is what you should have changed. All right, I guess I'll open. Anybody got a guess for this one? Good guess. Layla?
Instead of could, I put could.
You put what? Could? Oh, you added VE, the contraction. Same thing.
I added half.
Okay, here's what I would do. I would change it to half. Okay? The only reason I'm saying that is we've talked a lot about contractions already. So I want you guys to avoid contractions in your writing in the first place. So that's not what you want to do. Change of to have. Okay? When you use could, always use have with it. And that's really the only note on that one. That one's a little different. All right, number 7. It is nice to review grammatical concepts we learned our sophomore year. Carly, how'd you change that one?
I changed R to O-U.
And that is correct. This is what you should have on that one. Okay? Now, so for 7, R, O-U-R, is another example of a word that's showing possession, right? Our family took our car somewhere. Possession. R, A-R-E, is a verb. It's a form of be. Okay? We are going to do that. All right, by the way, stop me if you have any questions. We good on this? All this should, right? Familiar? Yeah? No, we're just tired? I can't tell. Okay, now this is stuff we're going to talk about a lot to start the year. This has to do with sentence structure when you got onto the backside. So this has to do with compound sentences and commas. All right, so let's see what we had for this one before we go any further. Alex, what did you change with this one? Pass? Okay. Cameron? Pass? Marion? Artrell? You sure? Yeah, you're right. All right. Out of the way, Artrell. That way to be brave. Okay. This comma goes before the but. Okay. Just remember, commas after buts stink. Okay. You never want a comma after a but. All right. Commas always go before buts. Now, you know why? No, you just looked right. Anybody know why? Why does that comma go there? I'm going to color code this one to help you out. Diamond?
Because like a pause when you do commas.
Okay, yes. So commas are always used for pauses, right? That's meant to make the reader pause. Okay. Other ideas, Jalen? You had your hand up.
Because the compound sentence, so the I enjoyed the break. That's one sentence, and the I break the other one.
Yes, exactly. Good. Okay, so here's what I want you to note with this one. I know it's a little hard, probably with your little box in the space you have. I enjoyed the break, like Jalen just said. If I ended this sentence here, right? If I ended that sentence there, could I end that with a period?
Yeah.
Right. I enjoyed the break. All right. A complete sentence is anything that has a subject and a predicate. I is the subject. Enjoyed is the verb. The break is what you're enjoying. All that stuff is the predicate. Okay. So that's what we call. I'm just abbreviating today for the sake of time. It's an independent clause. Okay. Independent. If you're independent, what does that mean? By yourself. You do stuff on your own, right? So a clause that is independent is a group of words that can stand on its own as a sentence. Okay? Whenever you have a group of words that can stand on its own as a sentence, and then you have another group of words, like here, I am ready to start learning again, that can stand on its own as a sentence. If you use that's called a conjunction, to join the two, you need a comma before the conjunction. Okay? If that comma's not there, and we're reviewing a lot of terms we'll use this year. You may see on your essay comments if you already looked at those. If I don't have that comma there, what do I have? Anybody know that? A run-on sentence, right. So if you saw on your essay at any point, if I put that, you might have this going on. You may have a run-on, okay? So we're going to dive into this sentence structure a lot more the next couple weeks. Any questions about that right now? Okay, real quickly, bonus review here. You don't necessarily need to know this yet, but I just want to show you, if you should have heard of this before as well. There's more than one way to write a compound sentence. That's the most common way, probably. You take two sentences, you put them together with a comma and a conjunction. You guys probably learned an acronym for conjunctions. You guys know what? Okay, so that was my next question. An acronym is like when you have a bunch of letters, and each letter stands for a different word. So I'm trying to like NATO, USA stands for United States of America, right? So anybody remember an acronym you would have learned are conjunctions and their functions. Artrell? Yeah. All right. So note that somewhere, and we don't need to take note of any more on it yet today, but fanboys is something we'll talk about again. We'll review again. Fanboys stand for and nor, but, or, yet, so. Okay? Those are all the conjunctions you need to know. All right, anyway, that's the most common way to make a compound sentence, is to take two sentences, fanboy and a comma. Another way you can do it, though, is you can stick one of these in there, just right in between them. What do we call that thing there? It's a semicolon. Good. So you can use a semicolon. So that's way number 2. Way number 3 is I can use what we call a transition word, which, like, an example would be however. Whenever you use a transition word, you have a semicolon before, a comma after it if you use it mid-sentence. Okay? But again, we'll get into that more later on. All right? So 3 ways to write a compound sentence there. Those are compound sentences. Good on that for now? Okay, next one had to do with complex sentences, which really, I don't like the name complex sentence because it's not any more complex. It's not super long or anything. It's just a different way to write a sentence. Okay? All right, this one may have been a little trickier. Noah, what'd you have for this one? You didn't do it? Oh, you didn't get to it. Okay, I got you. I thought you just didn't do it. Venus.
Pass.
Pass. We're running out. Holden. Oh, come on. Shane.
I didn't do it yet, but is it a comma after?
Okay, first of all, you're right. There's a comma that goes somewhere. Where's it go?
Is it after the question?
What are you gonna say, Lila? Oh, he's right.
Yeah.
That's where the comma goes. Okay. Now this one's a little trickier. All right, I'm gonna give you another acronym here. Question, Diamond? No. So the only reason why semicolons only separate independent clauses, complete thoughts, and we don't have two complete thoughts here. Okay. Here's what we have. When the teacher asked a question, okay, same thing I did with the last one. If I stop there, can I end that with a period? When the teacher asked a question. No, that's what we call a fragment. That's what we call a dependent clause. It is dependent upon other information. Okay? The other information is right here. The students raised their hands. That part can stand on its own. That's what we call an independent clause. We just talked about that. Whenever you take a dependent clause and you put it with an independent clause, you need a comma in between them. Okay? If you start with a dependent clause. Now, you probably also learned an acronym to help you with things like this. It's a little trickier. Anybody remember a different acronym you learned? Different types of conjunctions, grammar. It's longer, sounds weirder. Not fanboys. No.
I know, but I just can't remember.
And maybe, and some of you may not, I don't know. We've had some funky school years. All right, here's the other acronym. This is for what we call subordinating conjunctions. Told you it's long. A woobus. Does that sound familiar to anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? No? Okay. After, I don't even know if I can. After, although, as, when, while, until, before, because, if, since. Okay? You don't need to worry about that yet. But if you start a sentence with one of those words, like this, you're going to need a comma at some point mid-sentence. Okay. We'll work on that in more detail again later on this year. Okay? All right, but that's what you need to know for now. Comma goes mid-sentence with those. Okay? All right, where are we at here? Almost done? Okay, this one has to do with subject-verb agreement. Let's see what we changed here. My favorite topic in English class are poetry. Hopefully when you read that, it didn't sound right in your brain. It shouldn't have. Devontae, yeah, I'll go to you. I don't even have a card for you yet. You change what to is. All right. This should be is. You know why? Because it sounds right? Yeah. Okay, here's why. My favorite topic in English class is poetry. Is a verb. And what is it referring to in this sentence? Yeah, yes, and another word in the sentence.
English class?
No.
Topic.
Topic, right. I'm telling you what my favorite topic is, okay? Topic is singular, right? Topic is not plural. Are is a plural form of be. Are goes with plural stuff. If you were to say my favorite topics, plural, then you would use are. But we said topic. One thing, so the verb has to be singular. We good on that? Okay, I see some nodding. That's good. So you could have also changed it this way, I guess. My favorite topics in English class are poems. Anybody say that? You had to change more words. Okay, last one's verb tense related. Who I have left? Aiden?
I didn't get to it so fast.
Keon?
I did it, but I'm just trying to figure out what I can fix.
You're not confident?
No, I am.
Good.
Oh, I changed explains to explain. I'm not sure if that's correct.
Okay, hold on. You changed explains to explained?
Yes.
You're right. Now, there's two ways to fix this one, though. Did anyone change it a different way? Or Trell? Okay. Don't do that. Jalen?
You could change the ask to ask.
To ask, right? Ask, yeah. So here's what you could do. You could say the teacher explained the examples to students who asked questions, or you could have had the teacher explains the examples to students who ask questions. Okay, both of those are correct. Now, why? Why do we have to make that change? One or the other? Diamond.
Is one of them past tense?
Right. So there's three main forms of verb tenses: past, present, future. Okay? Explains is the first verb in the sentence. And that is what tense? Everybody. What? Explains? Present. Okay? So explains is present. So asked needs to be changed to present tense. Or, because asked is past tense, you could change explains also to past tense. Does that make sense? You can't just change verb tenses willy-nilly when you feel like it mid-sentence. All right? Okay, last thing I want to cover, we already talked about that. You're going to get a cheat sheet for this stuff after the quiz on it tomorrow. If I can click on it here. And there were just a few more things that I talk about to start every year. I don't see as much of this in your writing. I saw some of it on in some essays, but just to be clear. Okay, for 6 and 8 mainly here. You're not texting, you're writing in school again, so don't use like the letter U instead of you. Okay, don't use LOL, or I don't even know, you probably have new ones since I wrote this. I don't know, what you all communicate. But don't do that. And then also don't use words like cuz. We already talked about coulda, shoulda, till. Till is a big one I see from time to time. TILL. Okay, write out intil, not till. Till is what farmers do to the land. All right. I'm sure you can think of more. All right. So just want to make sure we cover that to start. All right. Now, why did we do this in the first place today? I did want to talk about that. This is, I just put in a slide what you guys said about writing to start the year. You can take a look at that again. So, we'll talk about that later. We already talked about that chart. All right, what you need to know for tomorrow. You're going to have a quiz tomorrow. And it should be easy after today's lesson. Okay, what I would recommend doing is looking over what you just noted. Look over the exercises we did today. It's only going to be 10 points. We'll do it right away to start the hour tomorrow. And you should do fine on it because I'm going to use 10 sentences that are very similar to the ones we talked about today. And it seemed like most of us knew a lot of that already, right? So that's the plan tomorrow. And then we'll do another little grammar thing as well. And then you'll get a lot of time to read tomorrow independently. Okay. Already?